The No Jumper universe's greatest supervillain has recently had his channel shut down and has not been doing as many uploads as before. There's a great deal of momentum for the sheriff, aka Point and Shoot. He was putting in a great deal of work trying to keep these YouTube streets safe. Unfortunately, he got into some beefs with some individuals who ain't playing in the slightest and are no stranger to the danger of internet conflicts and the different type of games that people need to play in order to stay on top. And now that one of them, the homie Poetik Flakko, got a little bit of Scooch Liani behind him, got a little bit of that Skrill to play with, it makes him a very dangerous foe. So I don't know if Point and Shoot will be emerging from this victoriously. He seems really confident with this new rebuttal he just launched. So we'll see what he got to say. And he also is involving Star as well. Anybody that knows about Star from the media space in New York and going back to his Hot 97 days and all that, and the Source magazine, you know about Star. So we're going to get into a little bit more regarding him as well. Shouts to Star, shouts to Flakko, and let's see what Point and Shoot got to say. This is the return of the sheriff. Channels want to react to No Jumper, and I will be reacting right back to them. Y'all know what it is, but I'm show love to dope content creators, whether or not they, if they're good at what they do. And Point and Shoot is fucking hilarious, although a lot of people don't like. I can understand why people don't like him, and I don't like when he talks bad about me either, but he is a dope content creator. But if he's fucking up and disobeying the rules, then it is what it is. Flakko ain't a good person to make an enemy of, I'll tell you that. So I hope that PNS ain't got to learn the hard way. No Diddy.
All right, so for this video, I want to talk to you guys about my legal battles that I'm dealing
Guess who's back? Back again.
With right now with these two idiots. So let me just explain what's been going on. So I had made a video exposing all of the deception of the Jallah.
Jallah is my real name.
And how he sent me a copyright strike just to get my information. He admitted to this in a video.
Getting your identity by forcing you out of your rabbit hole with this copyright strike.
And
there are legitimate claims he has, though, regardless, or no?
Talked about how he lied to his own audience about why he sent me the copyright strike, and I had this whole 50-minute video all covering Jallah. Frederick Minyango Jallah Tokpa. Okay, he's got many names. Some people just call him Jallah the Hutt, which is one of my favorites.
Come on, this is why I said bro's funny. Like, you can't, that's pretty funny.
And so I had this video explaining the copyright strikes and everything else, and the video got taken down, and I want to explain why it got taken down. It was taken down.
There's something you gotta love about the smarmy white entitlement voice. He's good at it. I can't lie.
Down via copyright strike from a guy named Troi Torain. And for those who don't know who Troi Torain is, he is DJ Star from the Star and Buck Wild Show.
And back in the day, if you used to read the Source magazine in the 90s, Star and Buck were off the chain. And, he's been around hip-hop culture and the underground in New York and the mainstream, actually, for many, many moons. And if you remember, was always really unhinged and said wild things, bordering on a shock jock. The best way to describe Star, for those who don't know, he was kind of like the prototype of what Charleston White would become one day eventually. But, he's like, that's the best way to describe him. But he wound up making some crazy comments along the line. He said something along the lines of, I think it was to DJ Envy. He was like, it was to DJ Envy. He said, I'm going to quote unquote, he said, R. Kelly, your daughter. Yeah, your baby girl. So insane, unhinged comment. Although it was par for the course somewhat for the type of jokes he would make, that's beyond that's a hell nah.
Former radio show from the East Coast, very successful back in the day. But unfortunately, DJ Star wrecked his own career and had an epic fall from grace that he never really recovered from. His career...
I remember back in the day, he made the Not 97. It was called Shot 97. It was like his response website / radio station / early streaming service. He was like pretty innovative for doing that at the time. I Star and I have always had. He's always spoke high of me. We showed each other respect. I ain't got no problem with Star. This, wild thing that he said back in the day aside, him and I always been cool. He even like went bad on me at some point, but early on. But we've been cool for mad long, so shouts to him. But I don't know how he is involved in this whole fiasco, but I know ever since then, he is quick to sue people if he wants them to, because he doesn't want to be involved in the fracas that he was before, which is understandable. But he's many years in the bowels of the media space.
Is fucking. I mean, his ass got fucking fired.
What? Competing DJs caught in the middle, a 4-year-old girl. Eyewitness News reporter Jeff Rawson here now with the story. Jeff?
Clearly this feud is getting out of control. DJ Star from Power 105 actually went on the air and threatened sexual assault against a 4-year-old girl. That girl is the daughter of a rival DJ on Hot 97. Tonight, DJ Star has been suspended. Now local leaders want him arrested.
So this failure of a disgraced former DJ sent me a false copyright strike to try to silence me because I was shitting on him in the video about Jallah, and he didn't like that very much, and I don't think he realized who he was messing with, but he sent me this false DMCA copyright strike takedown. It's a legal action. See, what Jallah and Troi Torain don't understand is that sending a copyright strike on YouTube is a legal action.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure it says it right there. And in order to actually go, that's why you have to submit paperwork. It's a pain in the ass. That's the type of thing that I personally would prefer to avoid at all costs. I am like on a YouTube agency. I'm under Quarter Lab, so any issues like that, I'm pretty sure they'll handle that for me if it really came down to it. But I don't know.
It's not just some little game that YouTube allows you to play. That's actually a legal action that YouTube has tools for built into their platform. So these people are actually bringing legal action against people by sending copyright strikes. I'm not sure if they're aware of that. But luckily for me, it doesn't matter if they're aware of the law. If you break the law, it doesn't matter if you don't know the law. You have to know the law if you're going to.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Use it like this. So it doesn't matter if they claim ignorance, they're still liable, okay? And my theory on this, in my opinion,
I want to know what your argument for them abusing this is. Like, how are they abusing it? And I'd really like to please articulate that, because you're saying it's frivolous, and the things that, like, they're saying that this is a fair use. You're saying it's a fair use thing, right? That's what I heard you imply, that everything that you've done is within the scope of fair use. But what about the bullying and harassment? Couldn't technically some of the things that you're saying be construed as bullying and harassment, slander aside, or whatever claims people want to make? I don't know. I'm not like an expert in libel or anything of that nature. However, maybe you could break it down for me.
Think that Jallah and DJ Star, aka Troi Torain, are doing this because it's a way that they found that they can get videos taken down and cause direct harm to YouTube channels that they don't like. And so this is what I've been dealing with. Troi Torain got my entire Poetik Jallah video taken down. The 50-minute video got taken down for copyright infringement, because for a few seconds in that video, I showed a screenshot of Troi Torain's YouTube homepage.
What?
I mean, to me, that sounds like a flaw within YouTube's system that it would even allow something like that. If that's the basis, if that's the whole basis of the takedown, and that's the only information, that doesn't seem very fair. But I know, like, sometimes with YouTube, it'll be a series of like strikes or things that winds up triggering it to to actually respond to something. Like, after several claims are made, one is essentially the one that winds up getting that you're notified about, although there might be several others. I'm not exactly sure how it works, to be honest with you, but.
And he says that he owns copyright for the profile picture and the thumbnails, and that could
I've heard instances of people like if you're using images that are from Getty Images or something that's specifically owned by an individual and they try to claim that, there is they could get you can get spit at Yank for that, player, like it or not. It might actually have legs.
And that I've infringed upon him and that I'm causing him damages. He said he's suing me for $5,000. The guy is out of his fucking mind.
I mean, suing for anything less than 10 bands really don't make any sense. Like, I believe anything less than 10 bands is small claims, really. And the process, unless you're like literally just trying to get justice, any lawyer worth his weight in motherfucking potato latkes ain't gonna take a case for that's because he's gonna cost damn near that much. You feel me? Like he's gonna cost half that. He gonna eat up a lot of whatever you think you gonna make. 5 bands is maniacal. Like I can't even imagine, unless you have either a lawyer that's been on retainer that you have a gang of jug with already, or you're gonna they're willing to take it pro bono. But even like the amount of hours that you'll get billed for that it will require seems like damn near it's gonna eat up half that. Like if you really need to sue, and then there's the whole collections process, which is far more difficult than people realize. And if collection agencies have to intervene, et cetera, they're gonna be that could fucking, if I wind up losing a lawsuit, good luck fucking collecting that money. I promise you, good luck. So I get it. Like, if that seems like a very foolish thing to sue for. That's just my initial reaction. And again, I fuck with Star, but that don't really make that much sense to me. There might be something that Point and Shoot's leaving out. I'm a gatherer, but come on. I'm keeping in the stack. I'm calling it down the middle. It's the only thing I can do, player.
He's an old kook. And so he's sending me this because he says he doesn't want to be involved in drama. That's what he said in the email. He reached out and said, hey, could you edit out the part that I'm in and you can just go after Jallah? And I said, absolutely 100% no. What? You are involved. And so it became apparent that Star just doesn't like being talked about, especially in a negative way. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to talk about him in a negative way, and there's absolutely nothing he can do about it.
I mean, I don't really see why he needs to be included, but at the end of the day, we're all in the internet sphere, and you can't really stop people from talking about you or reacting to you or making content about you. That's just the nature of the game. It's a very, what's the line of poor taste and not, or how far you take dissing or this or that, depends on the rapport individuals have, the respect that they have or lack thereof, and the moral compass of that individual. That's it. So there ain't no crying in baseball, motherfucker. Watch that A League of Their Own movie back in the day.
There will be no copyrighted nothing. I'm actually going to...
Yeah, like if you play ball, bro. You can't get like shit shut down. But at the same time, all's fair in love and war. And if you out there on a hate campaign or trying to mark other motherfuckers out, don't be surprised when the energy comes back reciprocated tenfold. So I think that's what's going on with Point and Shoot. He'd been talking shit about Flakko. Flakko gonna try to get him out the paint, as he should. What do you expect him to do? I mean, the type of shit you're saying about him and implying, you better have factual evidence that shit's real. And I don't know, because a lot of people try to put jackets on Flakko that aren't true. And I can understand why people get misled, this or that, but I don't know, fool. It is what it is. Again, I enjoy Point and Shoot's content, but I know, Mr. Sheriff Winters, you're not a stupid motherfucker. I know you smart enough to understand that bro got every right to try to clap back and do whatever he can. Just like you got every right to do what you can and clap back at him, and just like I got every right to make a video about the whole motherfucking thing and try to run my little views up, because my channel ain't gonna be in the graveyard no more, player.
Let me show you guys clippings from the New York Times. This is a news publication. This article's still up for everyone to go read. And I do want to say that I believe that DJ Star is going to be pretty furious about this. So I'm going to enjoy this very much, talking about this. And this is not defamation. This is all just the news. I'm not alleging anything. I don't know anything. I'm just reading and reacting and interpreting the news. And I would like to say that I don't intend to defame or depopularize DJ.
I mean, he's saying the disclaimer. We know what happened. If you're a part of hip hop, you've been around, like, you know this story. And like I said, it's definitely pretty much on par with a lot of the shit Charleston White says today. I mean, Charleston White has made jokes about raping women and all kinds. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is even worse, but it's within the same vein, and it kind of begat that energy. Not co-signing it, but I'm also not gonna fully get Star out the paint because of a dumbass joke he made 2 decades ago now. I can understand him not wanting this to continue to haunt him, to continue to follow him, to continue to plague him. I understand him wanting to move on. I'm still a little bit unclear as to how he even got involved in this situation to begin with, but, you know.
DJ Star in any way. I'm just trying to illustrate my point as to why I think that he's...
Slide me the young bong player, porfa. Go Yardicus.
Sent me a copyright strike. It was to suppress this. And unfortunately for DJ Star, this is public information, and he is a public figure, and this is a matter of public concern, okay? So I'm actually engaged in constitutionally protected commentary. So let's start from the top. It says DJ is a...
Yeah, I mean, it's, to say something so inflammatory, you get a charge from it. He got met by detectives from the that's insane. I kind of like forgot all those details of it, but yeah, that's pretty fucking gnarly, no cap.
Arrested over his threat to rival's child. Threat to rival's child? Well, what did he say? And it says right here, it says, detectives yesterday arrested a popular disc jockey.
It's crazy because, like, talent-wise and just knowledge of the culture and vitality of the culture, Star really could have been and should be revered as, like, one of the goats of this whole thing. He really influenced a lot of people back in the day, going back to the mid-'90s, myself included. So it's crazy. I think Buck Wild was the one who had the at first it started out as Buck Wild, then it was Star and Buck, then it was, yeah. But going back to the day one, it's a shame how things manifested, you know, because there's a lot of people he's way better than that get more love than him, just to keep it a Yundell.
With one of the city's leading hip-hop stations for making on-air threats to track down and abuse a 4-year-old daughter of a rival. What? That's what he did. I'll come for your kids, Mr. Torain said that day, adding that he would pay $500 to anyone who told him where the girl attended school. Okay, that's absolutely 100% disgusting. What? That's creepy as fuck. I'm glad.
That is maniacal, no cap.
Glad that you got arrested, okay? I am extremely happy that this happened to you. As a matter of fact, I might celebrate this tonight. I might open up a bottle of wine. What?
I feel like, are you a Pinot guy? Or are you a Chardonnay? Are you a... What would a sommelier say about point? You're from Northern Cali. You're not far from Napa. I know you probably got an exquisite wine closet. Or I don't know, you might be out the damn box with it. You might be a $2 chucking it. I don't know. I'm curious to hear what your wine selection would be like, young player.
Maybe put out some cheese and some nice apple slices or something just to celebrate this.
Charcuterie board?
Could you imagine how bad you would have to be to say something like this? Troi Torain allegedly said, and this is a quote from this thing, Troi Torain says, "If you didn't hear me, I said I would like to do an R. Kelly on your seed, on your little baby girl."
Bro is super mad. That's like I fucked you. That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker, times a million. There's the level of disrespect, which I guess I know that's what he was going for, is through the roof. But he did not account for the J-Cat factor of that statement.
Wow, so that's incredibly disturbing and disgusting on all fronts. I mean, to say that you would like to perform an R. Kelly on anyone, much less a little child. A little tiny 4-year-old child. I mean, to say that, you got to have something wrong with you.
I mean, yeah. It's an indefensible statement. Again, You know, I feel like I just did a video reacting to SPM being denied parole. Bro just did 23 years. He got denied parole. I'm happy about it. Keep him away. The real people that don't need to breathe the same air as us, the actual sex offenders for real, like the actual people that are no bueno and never will be, keep them the fuck away from me. I don't categorize Star like that. I don't think he needs to be admonished forever. Yeah, this is a fucked up statement. It's indefensible, but you know, we can move past it and you know, still he could be a valuable human being, and it doesn't make his other work meritless by any means.
And I'm just so glad that the DA filed charges and that his career was ruined over this. I really don't think he was joking. I think he may have been serious. And I also want to say that this article says that Troi Torain said mean things about Asian people. He said that DJ Envy.
If you watch like any of Star's material, if you watch anything Star did, like that's within the vein. That's not like that's not an insane statement by any means. I mean, no, it is an insane statement, but it's not outside of the scope of he never said anything that I heard that was, you know, sexually aggressive towards a child or anything like that, but he would say crazy shit. He was known for saying controversial. He was known for being a controversial person and saying controversial things and having jarring opinions. He was one of the prototypes in this marketplace for a lot of the people that are successful today. Let's keep it a stack in this space.
Envy's wife is a lo mein eater and that she is an Asian slant-eyed whore. So
I mean, I like lo mein as well. And there's some whores in the house. There's some whores. I mean, the slant-eyed, that's a bit much, bro. I don't condone that. Stop Asian hate. Come on, man.
So this Troi Torain guy is one sick son of a bitch, and this is why I think he doesn't want people talking about him. And I don't think that he wants people to talk about this. So I encourage people to talk about this. This is an issue of public concern. Okay, this is news. It's newsworthy. Now, I do want to be clear that charges were dropped for this because he did agree to community service and probation, allegedly, from what I've read.
Well, there you go. Okay. So he never had a conviction. So then he doesn't have that on his jacket. It is what it is.
So he's not convicted, and I don't want anyone to think that he's convicted of any crimes, okay? He's not convicted. But the only reason they didn't press forward with the fullest extent of the law is because they didn't want the little girl to have to go through that, a jury trial and whatnot. So that's what...
Yeah, I don't see why the child would have to participate, because I don't think dudes, per my understanding, he doesn't actually know the child, or maybe he does, which makes it worse for show. There might be elements of the story that I'm unaware of that I don't even know if Point and Shoot's brought up or will. But regardless, I don't see why she would have to be on the stand or enduring a trial in any capacity. It would be the parents, because like she has nothing to do with it, and he didn't make the threat to her. He said it in a broadcast, I believe, about Envy. So I don't know. It doesn't really make sense why she would have to be involved in any capacity.
It happened, allegedly. Of course, I'm only reading this off the internet. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Or like, do they mean like attention from media outlets? Because regardless, if you're a minor, they're not allowed to report your name or anything. That I'm just saying that justification doesn't make 100% sense.
But I just wanted you guys to know about that because I think it's important. And I also wanted to point out, just for a little comic relief here, that Troi Torain tried to sue a city councilman for defamation for talking about this. The city councilman called him a pedophile and said he needed to be terminated from the face of the earth. Troi Torain sued that city councilman for $55 million. Case thrown out. What? And so I found that...
Hey, you feel me? That would have been a huge W if he came up for that, because that's, it is an egregious claim. Those are very strong words. But fuck, man. If he had come up on 55 millions, yeesh.
Not to be funny because the city councilman was literally publicly stating that he was a pedophile, and the defamation case still got thrown out. I mean, what a pathetic fucking dope. He can't even. I mean, has he ever won any?
Is it because the amount? Is there like, what's the reason why it was thrown out or why he lost? That's what I'm curious about in this instance.
Anything in court? Has Troi Torain ever won? He hasn't won anything in the CCB. I looked at all of his old cases. I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think he's ever successfully sued anyone and won anything. I think the guy's just a kook. All right, so this ruined his career. He never fully recovered. I mean, he was on course, like I said, to be a...
I mean, like, I get all that. So, like, I guess we're doing the Star dissection, which wasn't the intention of this video because I have nothing against Star, but, you know, I'm going to react to this video and see what Point and Shoot got to say.
A huge, mega rich, mega lavish icon. I mean, I can't even tell you how big this guy was supposed to be, but he pissed it right down the drain, didn't he? And that's what I'm here to celebrate. So that was just a brief little deal where I mean, I just wanted to show you guys who is suing me, who took the video down about Jallah's fraudulentness and how he sent false copyright strikes. They both do. Jallah and Torain both think that they are entitled to abuse the legal process because they don't like what other people are saying about them. And they're going to learn the hard way, unfortunately, that they're...
I mean, I guess I don't know enough about the law to really weigh in on that. But I think, per my understanding, you know, if you have better legal representation and more resources, you're going to be more inclined to be in a favorable position. So we'll see how things pan out. I don't know.
They're not allowed to do that. So ever since this video got taken down by Troi Torain, this video about Jallah and how he sent me false copyright strikes and then sued me over it, that video's down. And ever since that video got taken down, Jallah's been parading around lying about the facts of the situation. And unfortunately for him, I can't let that go. I'm going to cook his ass right now. And so I want to play you a clip. This is Jallah. This is from the first video I made, but this is just showing him admitting to sending false copyright strikes. And
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that there's going to be a way for you to contextualize things in your favor. And there's probably a bunch of other things that he could point to that clearly, you know, bode well for him. But let's see what type of proof you got.
And initiating a false legal proceeding against me just to get my information, just to get my address and phone number and full name. And that's what he did. And this is actually a textbook example of what's not allowed. Now, let me show you this.
Now, are the copyright strikes...
I thought people already knew like who you were. I didn't realize that Point and Shoot's identity was a secret because he's been pretty public about who he is. So I don't understand why there is a need to even go that route, but you know.
Strikes false? No. But do I even care if they're false? No. You see, I have no intentions on pursuing Point and Shoot on these copyright strikes. I never had any intentions on pursuing these copyright strikes. What? You see, the goal of these strikes, because everything is strategic. So my plan was file the copyright strikes, have him respond back, and have him give his full name, his full identity, under punishment of perjury. Now, are the copyright strikes false? No, they're not. Do I care if they are? I don't.
So he said right there, the copyright strikes are not false. So that kind of negates everything that you're implying. He didn't admit to anything. He's literally saying right there, the copyright strikes are not. I'm just keeping it a bando with you, bruh. Like, Flakko's not dumb. He clearly covered his, you know, you could either say covered his tracks or is just being genuine. But however you look at it, he made sure that he knew what the fuck he was doing and saying, and he did not make frivolous claims. It's pretty obvious.
My goal isn't a copyright strike. My goal is something much larger, and this is just the first step. Getting your identity by forcing you out of your rabbit hole with these copyright strikes.
All right, so I want to keep things very simple here. So he just said that he didn't care at all about copyright at the time. It's not about copyright. He did this just to get my information. That was the sole purpose of sending me copyright strikes on YouTube. Now, he didn't send me any copyright strikes on Patreon. I mean, look up here. It says, describe the infringement. And he says, Fred Jallah says, Michael Winters reposted the infringed work, which is not true.
He put your work behind it. I mean, if you have a paywall behind it, that is I don't know if that's true or not, but that would be a very reasonable claim.
And it says, Michael Winters put my work behind a paywall. No, I didn't. There's no paywall on my YouTube channel. This is for YouTube. That's why you filled out the paperwork. And
I feel like this is like from his previous video, and he just included it because I remember seeing this before. I could be tripping.
Said it occurred on YouTube. It's because this is a YouTube matter. This is not a paywall Patreon matter.
So if you post your content on Patreon, and that content include videos and content of mine, well, in some cases it's fair use, but if you put it behind a paywall, well, then the fair usage is now a gray area.
So he said all this stuff. He said that he sent me a copyright takedown on YouTube.
I mean, he said if you put it behind a paywall, it does, because that does change the dynamic. Now you're using someone else's content and profiting off of it. Can't really argue with that. If you had any of those videos behind a paywall, that is a legitimate claim.
Just to get my personal information so that he can do whatever he wants with it. And then he says that it's justified. What he's done is justified.
Whether that's wrong or not, you feel me? Like, because, I mean, I feel like there'd be other better ways to obtain somebody's information than going to that length, but I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe he just said that to be funny, because I feel like if someone really wanted to find somebody, that's not even close to the most resourceful way to go about it, if you have any means to. But, you know, it could be, you know, there's numerous reasons, but regardless, you know, if channels are made to exist that are slandering other people from other channels, and that's the core of their existence, do they have any value or worth? That's essentially the conversation that's to be had here. It's a lot deeper than, and it sucks because a lot of us are guilty, like I am right now, of watching content from like certain universes, and I'll do it in the comedy I'll watch more reaction to comedy channels than I will the actual comedy channels. I'll watch more reaction to, because I feel like that's where you get a lot of unfiltered perspectives that aren't compromised by one side of things, or even if it's making fun of me, clowning my friends, like yeah, at times I want to get defensive and attack back, but at times I can appreciate the humor in it, and it does like give a different lens, even if it does like at times it's like, damn, this is now the way a lot of people are perceiving who you are through someone else's lens, and it might not even be the masses perception by any means, and it might not be accurate by any means, but people still want to latch onto it because that's what they're absorbing. So should that be regulated to some degree? Should that be allowed? Like, what are the limits, and when does it become exploitational? When does it become slanderous? When does it become prosecutable? And I think these are the conversations we're trying to have right now, what we're trying to figure out. And, you know, let's see what the fuck else PNS got to Cisnaye.
Justified because I stole his work and put it behind my Patreon, where he can't send me a strike. You can send me a strike to Patreon. It just costs money. They don't have the little tool that YouTube does to take a video down. You actually have to pay have to pay someone to do a DMCA takedown. It's like $200. But Jallah didn't want to spend $200, so he sent me a YouTube strike and then cried about Patreon on there. You can't do that.
Hold on. What's up? I'm recording a reaction right now. All right, love you, Juwan.
This is actually not allowed. That is DMCA takedown abuse, and it is punishable by law. So this next clip is from Fair to Say. This is Jallah lying. So I don't know if he thinks that my video has gone forever and that no one's ever going to find out about this lie. I mean, I don't know if it was because Illa was sitting next to him. She may have been smelling really nice, and he may have gotten a little bit, he may have lost touch with what he was doing, because he commits a huge violation by way of lying, the most bold-faced lie you could possibly. Just watch this.
Now, The thing he said that I sued him on was
Okay. Okay. This is crazy because I'm like reacting to a reaction of a gang of different channels.
copyright registration, right? Now,
Okay, so when Jallah was describing to his
Talk about a fair use argument. Talk about meta as fuck, bro.
audience why he struck my video down, he did not use the word copyright.
This is like the homie who's got a picture of himself wearing a shirt autographed by Fred Durst with Fred Durst in the picture. Like it was something like that. I forget. Anyways,
Registration at one time. So this is a new version of the story. Let's continue.
at the time, though, it takes like a few weeks to a month, right? So I told him, hey, I need y'all to make a ruling right now that this is my content.
again, it's easy to compile. I mean, I'm not gonna say easy, but because I'm not undermining the work, and I'm actually trying to step my own YouTube shit up. But it seems pretty easy to, at the end of the day, find different clips that are favorable to your whatever your argument is. You know what I mean? So if someone's caught talking enough, you could maneuver however you want in the situation. But you know, I'm not trying to put the homie Flakko on blast or nothing either. I've that's my dog for real. But I don't disagree with what he's saying. But at the same time, I want to see what the fuck this about.
Right? Why? Because this YouTuber is claiming it's his content, right?
Oh, okay.
So hence I said, hey, here's the YouTuber and who's claiming it's from his content.
Yeah.
Here's why I need y'all to speed this shit up, right? So he took that like copyright, like registration shit, and he made this whole fable of I'm suing.
Okay, so this is how Star gets involved. Now it makes sense. Okay, because now it makes so crazy. So through wow. There's multiple levels from what I'm observing. There's multiple levels in which point and shoot could be held liable by both of these parties because of like things like that. So it all kind of makes sense. And when there's multiple parties willing to take it to that level, okay, I get it now. But now this only point and shoot he's a rebellious dude. But it takes some balls. He is standing on 10 by actually firing back and being like, fuck it, and still dissing, trying to come at Star when Star is really just like, doesn't want to be involved, was even willing to, it seemed like, remove himself from the situation, but I don't know. Like, now point and shoot's at war with Star as a result. He don't just have Flakko to worry about. And, the whole entire, if you're like a fan of No Jumper, you might enjoy his content, but you also look at him as kind of the ops because he's, although secretly a closeted huge fan, he's NJK. So it's mad confusing. It's mad confusing because I know that Point and Shoot loves No Jumper, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but there's, he even if it's just for voyeuristic joy of seeing some shit that he thinks is like so cringe or this or that, whatever the fuck it is, he's completely captivated by the world. It consumes his content. I know he's capable of going in a multitude of directions and being really big in the content game, but he chooses to focus on this. Why is that?
And I've had that happen before.
All right, so what Jallah has just done in front of our very eyes is he told a 100% provable lie that I intend to prove right now that he was... I mean, this is insane. That is not what happened. I don't know why he thinks that... So he thought that I just wasn't going to make a video about this? What he did was he sent me a YouTube copyright strike, got my video taken down, and when I counter-notified him and saying that it's fair use, he sued me and said, no, it's not. I'm going to keep this video down as long as I can. And when I say sue, I mean take legal action against, meaning he's bringing legal action against me. That's suing.
Well, maybe $5,000 is like the bare minimum you could sue for. I'm assuming.
Someone look it up. Just because there's no courtroom and no lawyers doesn't mean that my video didn't get taken down and now it's being decided by a government institution, okay? Jallah is suing me for copyright infringement for a few seconds of a reaction video. He can't even... So here's the thing. He says, oh, I was just registering my work with the copyright office.
So now what, we're doing now is, like whenever I make a video, I register it, right?
Right. He can't do that. I said in the video before this, you can't register copyright on non-original works. Like you.
I mean, who's to say that he's doing that for non-original works, though? Who knows? I don't know enough about his process to defend him nor admonish him here. Just being objective.
You can't react to a video, and then you can own the video or whatever and have it on your YouTube channel, but you can't register it as copyright unless you have the original owner's permission. That's what I talked about. I said, well, the 16 may...
Well, if it has anything to do with No Jumper, I'm pretty sure, like I know it's easy to whitelist a channel. If you have a channel and there's you give other channels permission to use your music, whatever it is. You could even do it through your DSP or your distribution company to let them know, because a lot of people, you could have your own songs that you own, that you made, that you uploaded through DistroKid or TuneCore or whatever, and then you try to post it on your Instagram reel, and they're like, you can't post this because it's flagged. You have to do it through their system in order to get it posted, and people be tripping out damn. You can't do a Facebook Live with your music playing in the background because it might get taken down. And that's because, the content has to go through the specific channels. But you're able to, I know through my distribution, which is through underneath Sony Orchard, I'm able to very easily give permissions and whitelist other channels that use my shit. And I've had people... because I also have good content ID for my channel. So I've had people use clips of shit that I've said, and it automatically flags them and tries to give them a copyright strike, and then they'll ask me to remove it. And out of courtesy, and that's very common for anybody that has cursory level YouTube knowledge.
They have given written permission for Jallah to own that footage, but
trying to add some creases to y'all craniums, man.
Jallah can't register all of his videos with the Copyright Office. He
It'd be like, Uno, man, why you so damn laced with the game?
Doesn't own the work. It's fair use. He's using other people's work. That's the point of fair use. You don't get to copyright other people's work just because you said something about the clip and then played the clip. It doesn't belong to you. You're just using it.
Okay, so this doesn't belong to me, but I'm still using that motherfucker, player.
Fair use.
Fool.
And so he
for the
says
free
that
ski.
he was in the process
for the free ski.
Of
for the free ski.
Registering his work with the Copyright Office. Well, that was a lie because he still hasn't done it, and I can prove it. This document right here says that they're about to dismiss the case because he hasn't registered his work yet. You have to at least have the application going. It says right here it's sitting in his cart, but he hasn't paid. So I guess he just lied to everyone, right?
Well, it was...
Damn, Flakko's really the GOAT. He got the fucking system hacked. Hats off to that, man. If he's really... there's definitely some game for sale over there. You feel me? He got... finesse game on a trillion. I am not mad, bro. Teach me. Teach me the methods. Teach me the methods, man. No Wu-Tang.
A copyright registration, right? Mm-hmm. Now, at the time, though, it takes a few weeks to a month, right?
So he just said that he applied for the copyright registration for this clip that he's suing me for, but I just showed you that he hasn't completed the application and that they're going to dismiss the case because of that. So he's just lying his fucking ass off, and he seems to...
I mean, you're caught up in legal minutia in this video. This is a lot of minutia. You're caught up in insignificant details, but I understand you are surgically sparring with his arguments and trying, but ultimately none of that shit is consequential if you really because there's no what's the recourse on your end beyond you trying to make a video to expose it and what's to stop him or others from trying to do the same thing to you. And shit, it could happen to me too, right? It could happen to anybody's channel. I don't wish that type of shit on nobody. I prefer to avoid litigious situations at all costs. That shit is weak as fuck and annoying and aggravating for all parties involved, in my opinion. You know, Jewish lineage aside, I really try to stay out of that shit. I don't even like talking about it. But this one, I feel like, because it's the sheer irony of me even making this video has so many layers of meta that I couldn't not do it. Especially when I'm here in my new speezy on a Friday. This is what the fuck I'm doing.
Be getting away with it, and I don't know why.
I'm doing it for y'all good people. Lush Uno, the king of the premieres. Come on, man. Been setting the most trends. Been fucking the most hoes. Been spilling the most game. Been international. Doing it the waviest. The most influential. Lush to the Uno. Mark ass biatch.
I mean, he is in a room full of fucking idiots that don't know anything about copyright or fair use or even having a YouTube channel at all. They're just listening to him yap and they're going, oh, yeah. No, he's feeding.
This is your daily reminder that Lush Uno is beyond cemented in this culture. You feel me? I'm making indents in the cement every time I present. Yeah, you biatch.
You guys bullshit. You guys are all getting Jedi mind tricked by this Jallah. And it's really pathetic and embarrassing. I feel very embarrassed for you guys. So Jallah is filled with shit. He's a fucking lying fucking fraud. He's saying that I can't use his content, that he can sue me for using his content. It's fair use. I don't care if you even have a registration.
I'm expecting more, like, I don't know, like, there's not, like, I don't know.
I don't care
I'm
if
expecting more ether, gang.
Have everything registered with the Copyright Office. I can still use it under fair use. That's the definition of fair use, is using copyrighted work without the copyright owner's permission. That's fair use. So go ahead and get everything registered. I don't care. I'm still going to use it. It's fair use. And so we just watched Jallah invent a new version of why he sent me the strikes with this whole copyright registration and that he's not actually suing me.
You're not going to win, bro. Everything you're saying may or may not be true, but regardless, bro, like, my guy is 5 steps ahead, bro. Like, send the SpaceX application to Flakko. He's out of here, bro. Like, you know, say what you want. You already know, bro. Like, sometimes in the art of war, it says, like, the best way to win a fight, or the only recourse to winning a fight, is to not play at all. You ever see that movie War Games? Yeah. Watch the movie War Games. Who's that? Matthew Broderick? That's some 80s shit. It's throwback as fuck, but watch that. And a supercomputer determines at the last hour before nuclear detonation destroys the entire planet that the best outcome when there's no winner is to not play the game. You feel me? And, like, the only way, like, because, like, if there's no winner, we all lose. So it's like, you might as well just, I don't know, player. Like, it is what it is. I feel like you're a talented creator and can do a lot of things. And honestly, you've been roasting me, and I ain't tripping. It is what it is, fool. Like, but when motherfuckers try to get you out the paint, you understand why. You can't really deny that he has valid recourse and reasoning as to everything that he's doing in every way that he's doing it. So this is just me casually observing on the situation from the outside. I have no horse in this race. I'm still trying to figure out, like, the overall morality of it myself, you know? And because at the end of the day, where I'm coming from, shit, I'm trying to get my channel jerking properly, and I'm really dropping consistent content. I'm trying to up my game. I'm trying to be full force with it. Anytime I'm not at No Jumper, you're going to see me over here utilizing the space that I have here to the best of its ability, trying to make it make sense. We got Found Fortune Studios, Lush World. We really turning up. I got space to do all kinds of dope shit. I'm still trying to get acclimated, get all the technicalities figured out and all that. So what the fuck you expect, player? Like, shit, my channel at this point got less motion, even though I'm on No Jumper and have put in all this work and this and that. Like, I've been neglected this channel. My goal is I'm fleshing this out now, and I'm making this a motherfucking thing. So here it is. So expect me to be talking about shit that y'all want me to talk about and beyond. I'm really creating this Lush world and putting it on. So point and shoot, you know, you've been on my channel fucking with me. It is what it is. I fucks with you, gang. Even when you talk shit, it ain't no hate. But I'm watching, I'm listening, you dropping shit, and I'm finna react to it. And here it go.
Even though he is, the video is still down to this day, and it will remain down until the case has been decided, okay? Now, in this next clip, I want to show you Jallah
Fools know I be in that yay area, you feel me? Off Tidnop.
getting, basically, people are praising me to him, and he does not seem happy, and I thought this was a very special clip. I want to play it for you.
No, but
I do. Is it
The
okay
way
if
he
I
say
say
it is
that
kinda
like
hard,
that?
like,
because
look.
I do like the way that he says your name, and I say it. He says Jallah.
What?
It's actually Jallah.
How do you?
Jolly is like
No. He gives it some flair.
Y'all aren't even smart because you would have been calling the Jallah Green Giant by now, but come on.
Specific pronunciation of it.
Like sounds like African king, dog.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna
it
lie.
does.
You should really take pride in that shit.
I
Yo.
love it. Shout out point and shoot.
Oh, word. No. Oh, word. No.
A word.
No, right? No, right?
All right, so I want to
Well, yeah, break that down.
explain what's going on here. So, Poetik Jallah is a known, well-documented incel. Okay, he doesn't have a girlfriend. He wants a girlfriend. He can't get one. He allegedly, according to him, had a girlfriend, but they didn't do any type of sex.
You thinking a lot about the next man's dick, though. I'm gonna be honest with you, gang. Like, no cap. Like, whether that's true or not, like, it's not that serious. Why are you even tripping on it? But okay.
They didn't do any type of, I don't even think that they've kissed. So Jallah is a fucking incel. And so now he's sitting next to one of his biggest crushes, Illa, and Illa won't shut the fuck up about how much she loves the way that I talk. She loves the way that I break it down. She loves the way that I...
Oh, damn. Okay. Illa down for the swirl, apparently. There you go. Point and shoot. Point and shoot your shot.
I say Jallah.
I love it. Shout out point and shoot.
Oh, word.
So that fucking killed him, and I just know that it did. The guy is pathetic as his girlfriend, he said that he has a girlfriend, but they didn't have sex. That they just like held hands and fucking sang kumbaya.
Who gives a fuck, though? It's not really anyone's business what that fool do with his dick. I don't know why you so obsessed with it, gang.
And shit like that.
You consider yourself an incel.
And you like, come on, man. If it's really that serious in pop, game it, old girl. And if you actually bout that, then pull that, then you got that. Until then, it ain't that serious, gangland.
Nah,
Facts. How? Because you don't have sex, right?
It's voluntary though. We both have taken
That's not a girlfriend. Think about it. In theory, if I were to date Jallah,
He's told several different stories, so we don't know. You know what I mean? Like, but I remember him saying several times that had knocked the hose down since way before that. So, who gives a fuck, bro? I don't be thinking about the homies smashing like that anyway.
Jallah's ex-girlfriend, I would be getting Jallah's sloppy firsts.
You know that my boss technically is a corn star for a living as well. You feel me?
You know what I mean? He hasn't, And I want to say that I genuinely feel like Poetik Jallah has the hots for Illa, like really bad. Why else would he be doing this show? Why else would he be on this show?
And so what if he does, gang? Like, okay. Again, bro, you really tripping on this other grown man's dick. Get out of that boy there.
Fair to say he didn't show up to talk to these
Get out of that boy there. Get out of that boy there.
two bozos. He came to talk to Illa. And
Serio.
Illa likes point and shoot, meaning she likes to, laugh late at night watching me roast Jallah. That's got to really crush him. You know what I mean? Now, I want to take this opportunity to...
Damn, all right. I see what you did there. Well concocted. I'm not... Hey, like we said earlier, all's fair in love and war. All's fair, right? All's fair use.
ask all of you that are still watching this video if you could please hit the like button and hit subscribe and leave a comment. That would really help out the channel, and that would really irritate Jallah. He has really been enjoying the fact that that video about him got taken down, and he's been gloating about it.
I don't know what happened. You feel me? I think it's very unfortunate, right? That the bitch ass nigga shit is, got clipped.
You should copyright.
He would really hate it if this video did well. So, I mean, I don't even know what's going on, if I'm shadow banned or what. Like, I'm getting struck here and struck there, but I would really appreciate it if you guys would help me out. And
I mean,
and give me a little bit of likes. Okay, so
I don't think this really makes Flacco look as bad as you think it does, gang. Just to keep it a bundle. Like, I really don't think this makes him look as bad as you think it does. This isn't like the scathing character assassination that you might have intended it to be.
this next clip is going to be highly disgusting, I would say. And it has to do with Dejan Paul. Now, Poetik Jallah has been making a lot of videos about Dejan Paul and his employment status at Figmunity World.
I mean, that's I'm damn near over the Dijon roasting at this point, but it is still pretty fucking funny because he has taken the most L's. I do encourage him to bounce back. I'm not trying to be a hater. I don't like to punch down. I feel like at this point, roasting Dijon is too easy. I've already said what the fuck I got to say. We can move on from there. New year, new me. Not really, but I'm just saying I'm not tripping on. Punching down is not funny. Bullying is not funny. And I don't know. Bullying and harassment is a reasonable claim sometimes. Or is it?
World and calling for him to be fired and everything. And in one of the videos that Jallah made about Dijon, he talked about how Dijon made fun of someone's dead relatives and how that was over the line. And there was this big...
it fucking... Whether or not you say it was over the line, whatever your moral compass is, bro, that shit was beyond janky and not funny. Keep it a bundle.
Bleeding heart video from Jallah about how this was so inappropriate.
Keep it a undeezy.
Look at this clip.
Fun of Keem's parents, one of them actually being deceased. But this next comment is what a lot of people finally realize, okay, Dejan should not be at this company, right? Dejan goes on to say, Keem's parents' crack pipe used to stay in that fire, shout out, laughing emoji. Keem, one of his parents has passed away. Keem is really close to his mama. It's not okay. And people began to call Dejan out on this.
No, it definitely got to be a conversation now about that's going too far.
That was way too far.
That was way too far, they said. Okay, well, I want to play you guys a clip from not too long before Jallah joined No Jumper when he was talking about...
I mean, dude, you're like... Bro looks like he was 17 right here.
And when he was doing the same thing, he was talking about this this poor woman's baby who lost their life, and Jallah was making fun of it and telling the grieving mother that she killed her baby and that she needs to go dig up her baby. And I thought that this was I vomited when I heard this. I went and I vomited.
I'll tell you what, if I really felt bad about I wouldn't fuck with Flacco. I wouldn't be around him. I wouldn't have him in my space. I wouldn't fuck with him on any of his endeavors, and I wouldn't want to work with him if I actually thought that he had bad moral fiber or was not a strong character. For as close as we worked together, being on No Jumper and all that, I've gotten to know that dude a lot, and I've seen a lot of growth in him as a human, and I can say that he's a good person, and you could make video admonishments critiquing any of us, Flacco, me, Brick, Sus, whoever, at No Jumper, Adam, whoever, any affiliates, characters, sub characters, and it's gonna get attention, but it doesn't really mean that they're bad people, and they exist outside of the scope of these videos, which point and shoot you said was done for the sake of satire, right? Right? For the sake of satire. You don't mean what you're saying. It's all love at the end of the day. So, all's fair in love and war. Be that as it may.
And so I want you guys to hear this.
She killed her baby. Hold on, Vada. Wait, pause though. I don't have no...
Remember, I'm off the neck with it. I freestyle all this shit. You feel me? I ain't even writing no motherfucking scripts. This is just off the neck with it, player.
Pictures, right? But look, this bitch killed her baby.
Oh, no. Don't really. See what that means? See what that means? That's all you had to know, fucking word. You made that kill because you thought that was gonna hurt you.
I mean, this is just insane on a whole other level. I don't know what the fuck is going on. That looks like Clubhouse or Twitter Spaces or some shit, but yeah, or is that Discord? But yeah, I don't know. Those are bins of toxicity.
No,
Oh man.
no, bitch, you did not.
Hey, I got to go ahead.
No, bitch. All that extra stuff is fit, bitch. Swallow. I know you know how to do it.
What the fuck? I mean, like, they're both hitting below the belt, saying some wild shit. I mean, I don't condone him joking about that, but hey.
My daughter Tombstone, you bum bitch. Come on.
No,
Sheesh. Sheesh. Hey, Flakko be on noggins. It is what it is.
You were dumb. You live in a one room, pissy ass nigga. You a pissy ass nigga. I had no ass.
Wow, so this grieving mother's voice is trembling.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't necessarily, I've got a sharp tongue, no Diddy, as well. However, I wouldn't want to use it in such a manner, but ideally. But, you know, things transpire how things transpire. I would need a lot more context before I was judgmental or not.
As she tries to defend herself against this Jallah, and he's making fun of her for it, for her, you know.
I will say this: you don't play about people's kids, or when something bad happens to a kid, or jokes like that kind of tend to make situations seem a lot more intense because they bring out a lot of emotions in people, and it's not things that people necessarily want to talk about, you know. So, but hey, again, all's fair in this motherfucker, right? It's a content game.
For sounding like she may be crying, and he's laughing at her. Okay, let's continue.
It's like an old greasy Hollywood. Hey, it's Hollywood. Hey, all's fair. It's a content game. I don't know, bro.
Fucking monkey. I fucking monkey. You flying monkey, you. Hey, go help your people.
Yo, why can't we kumbaya out
baby and kept by her fucking Tombstone?
I mean, just all kinds of fuckery.
Yeah, fuck you. Bitch, you go there, so you think you better get away?
Okay, what's going on?
You ain't got no.
Wow, so not only is Jallah a filthy, disgusting, rotten liar who smells physically, he's also a human piece of garbage. What?
I mean, I'll be honest. As one of the people that was used to roast and like say that Flakko does not stink no more. He's got his weather together. You feel me? I think that fool was just grinding it out, making so much content that he wasn't focused on showering or whatever. But now that motherfucker, you feel me? Like no Diddy. He takes the guy's well taken care of. He's going places. He's clean and pristine. Got to keep it a bundle. And admonish. Come on, bro. Like. Why are you trying to knock bro hustle like that? But I guess like I understand that striking people's videos and this or that, but there's got to be room for civil dialogue or recourse or some type of an understanding and certain boundaries that shouldn't be crossed. And I don't know. I'm on the side of civility. That's me. I feel like there's ways that people can move forward that benefit all parties. That's me. But I know people here for the fuck shit, so fuck it.
Is not, I mean, this is way over the line. This is even further over the line than Dijon's comments were. And I want to make sure everyone knows that Poetik Jallah represents No Jumper. He represents Figmunity World. They love him over at Figmunity World. They give him platform. Ace Boy Pun loves Jallah. He's always...
I mean, Flakko is respected across the board. You can't really hate it.
Rooting for Jallah. They all love this guy, okay? And they're all hypocrites at this point. And I just wanted that in the record, okay? So that's pretty much going to do it for this video. I really appreciate everyone who's hitting like and subscribe and leaving comments. It's really helping me out. And I just want to say thank you for doing that. And I'll see you on the next one.
All right. So, you know.
All right, so for this video, I want to talk to you guys about my legal battles that I'm dealing with right now with these two.
All right. But, yeah. And there it is. A wise man once said, and there it is. In summation, I think I pretty much made my point several times over, but just to reiterate it, where do we draw the line of morality when it comes to fair use and other channels utilizing the content from a primary source and getting a lot of traction to the point where they're able to sway consensus and influence people and bring light to things or frame things in a way that may or may not be flattering to the hosts or the content creators from that original hub that they're getting their content from. So when they do shit that could be looked at as slanderous or fucked up or abusive, what lines could be drawn as far as the recourse on the side of the creatives, the original people, the people whose content is being reacted to, and where do we draw the line? And the irony of making a video reacting to that, being somebody who was on the original platform, who is still on the original platform, that is being discussed by the reactor. It's a reaction to a reaction to a reaction. It is meta as fuck. It's metaphysical. Let's keep it a bundle. But with that being said, let me know what y'all think. Like, share, subscribe. Run it up!
Idiots. So let me just explain what's been going on. So I